All right, you guys. So today we'll be playing Nuguns by System of a Down. So as usual, drop C tuning, which is a whole step down from your standard tuning, and a step down further on the sixth string. So the notes are D, A, F, C, G, and C again. All right. So let's take a look at the intro first, which also acts as a chorus, and it goes a little something like this. It's kind of long, but let's split it in parts. So the first part is just the whole thing revolves around three notes, all right, being G, G sharp, and A sharp, all right. So the first part is just power chords open, same notes. So basically, fifth and sixth strings, seventh fret for the G, eighth fret for the G sharp, and 10th fret for the A sharp, and back to G and restart. Open, completely open. We do that 3 times, and then we get to the first variation, which is the same notes but single note. We're doing that pattern. Basically, we're adding open C's in between each note, all right, 3 times. So, all right. And then when we get back to G sharp, we're releasing the palm mute. The whole thing of the first variation is palm muted, except for this part in which we release it and we slightly bend the G sharp. All right, then repeat the previous riff. And then we double up on the time. We remove the open Cs, we stay palm muted, and then we're playing the walk up and down up until the A sharp, and then the second time that we hit the A sharp, we're stopping 2 times. All right, so for the first 2 bars we're stopping. So hopefully that made sense. It sounds a little something like this. And when we're hitting the second time this A sharp for the pauses, we're doing the power chord, not just a single note. And then for the second half, we're just doing it continuously, and then we're repeating the first riff, all right? And we're closing this chorus slash intro with this little arrangement, which is just single note alternating between C and G, and then their harmonics. So, all right, so 3rd and 4th string, 7th fret. Okay, here's the C. So for the harmonics, we're slightly touching the string with the tip of our finger. We're not pushing down. They're the same note, all right? Okay, so yeah. And yep, that'll be it for the intro and chorus. Do keep in mind, this closes the chorus also, and we're doing it twice before the interlude when they say, you know, for the Nuguns. For the interlude. So then we get to the verse, which goes a little something like this. Right? So we're just playing a C sharp and a C octave, all right, with a little rhythm, completely palm muted. C sharp here in the 5th string, 6th fret, all right, and then the C, the previous C that we were playing, the octave, right, an octave higher, 3rd octave of the guitar, basically. All right, hopefully that makes sense. And then we're closing the first repetition of this verse with the following arrangement, which is just twice playing in the lowest octave C, single note, and then we're playing G harmonic, and then repeat twice the open C, and then the C harmonic, twice the whole thing. All right, so yeah, that'll be it for the verse. We repeat the previous one. And then we enter again the chorus with the previous arrangement, which is. You know the rest. So we repeat that twice, the whole thing. There's no changes. And then we get to this little musical interlude, which is super interesting, but it's a shit show, production shit show. I mean, don't take it the wrong side. It's fucking amazing, but I'll do my best to explain it. So what's going on here is basically we're listening a lot of acoustic guitars playing and doing harmonizing within each other and playing a little melody, while we have some electric guitars doing basically the bass, the rhythm. So we'll talk about the rhythm guitars first. So the rhythm guitar does just two things. Is the following. That's the first thing. We're just sliding up and down. Sliding up until this G sharp power chord. And then it's adding the same G, G sharp, and A sharp notes, single notes. Keep in mind, he slides from G sharp to A sharp in this particular part. Except for the end, where he plays just the power chord for the intro. Chorus, basically. So yeah, that's basically the bass guitar. The first half, he does the following. The sliding a little longer. There's no in between G, G sharp, and A sharp arrangement. But for the second half, he starts adding it where you will expect, like it halves it cuts it in half, if that makes any sense. Probably doesn't. So whatever. And then we've got another guitar which is just playing the harmonics, which is the G and C harmonics. We'll see it in a little bit. I want to show you this bass. Hopefully it'll sound decently. Probably not, because I was lazy to adjust the mix, but let me show you how the main guitar, which is acoustic, goes with this rhythm guitar. All right. So hopefully that made sense. That's the main guitar. Let me explain you what's going on here. So we're playing basically in a C Phrygian or C harmonic Phrygian, Phrygian dominant, sorry. It alternates between those two, all right? So we're just pretty much walking down the scale, all right? So we're playing staccato here in the C, the previous C that we were playing, 7th fret, 3rd string. And we're continuing the staccato up until this C sharp, just in the 8th fret. All right? And then we remove the staccato, and then we'll start alternating between notes of the scale, basically. C, A sharp, C, all right, 7th fret, 5th fret. And then A sharp, G sharp. Right, so 5th and 3rd fret. G sharp, G. And 2nd and 3rd, and then F and G. We'll start playing a staccato again in this G. Right, then we get back to A sharp and continue walking down up until this F, and then we're closing this part, this first half, playing E, F, and G in the fourth string, fourth fret, fifth, and seventh. All right, so. Hopefully that makes sense. And when we hit this part, there's another guitar doing the following arrangement. All right, so basically we're playing this D sharp, right? Sorry, the C up until D sharp. First string, 10, 11, and 13th fret. Then we're doing this little thrill between C and C sharp. This little hammer and pull off. Right? Alright, we're just walking down the scale again. Alright, so A sharp, G sharp, and G. Alright, so the main guitar goes back to this little E basically. Seventh fret of the second string. It just stays there. A little bit. And then we return to this A sharp and we do the following. A sharp, G sharp, G. Then we play this C in the first string, then fret. And then we get back to this G with staccato, while the other guitar plays basically this G staccato, and then A sharp, G sharp, G. All right, basically that, and then we start playing this little diminished chord, basically while the other guitar is playing this G. We're doing this little diminished chord, which is basically A sharp and E. So first string 14th fret, second string 13th fret. And let me see if I can show you how that particular part goes, because yeah, I've got it. So yeah, that's going on there. In between that, we've got again, as I said, we were going to discuss this. We've got from the second half, we've got this electric guitar doing the following. All right, so basically that should sound something like this. So for the ending, basically, we do the same arrangement from A sharp. So A sharp, G sharp, G, back to F. And then we're closing with the same notes as the first half. So E, F, and G. But in the second string, 7th fret, 8th, and 10th. But there's two other guitars playing there, which basically they're just adding a little spice, and they're basically doing the following. One of them is doing that in a C region, dominant. All right, and the second one is doing pretty much the same, but in a different, note, basically G sharp. So this one is doing it in C, and hitting, the A, the E instead of basically D sharp. All right, up until this A sharp, and the other one is starting G sharp until you hit that G. We're just moving around the scale, but they get cut short, so it should sound something like this. So as you can see, the only one that's close in there is the only one that lasts up until the end is the main guitar. So it just does the E, F, and G. All right. While the main guitar just closes with, and we're just returning to the chorus. So hopefully that made sense. Probably it didn't. But yeah, that's pretty much the gist of it. There's that scale, that arrangement, and those are the guitar parts are happening during that in the entirety of that thing. So I'm sorry for being so lazy explaining it. Let me know and I'll give it another shot or whatever. So then we return to the chorus and just, everything goes normal. Up until, the very end, where we're doing again the harmonics, but let me show you how it goes. All right, so we're just playing it slowly for the harmonics and the single notes for the arrangement. So E, G, harmonics, C, G, harmonics, just the C harmonic, and then just twice the C power chord, palm muted. And that'll be it for Nuguns. Hopefully it made sense. Probably didn't. I'm very sorry for wasting your time. But I do appreciate a lot of you guys for all the support you've been giving me, and obviously for spending your time with me here. Hopefully I did some improvements. As you can see, this camera, and I improved the microphone. I was using my Shure, but since I'm too lazy to correctly adjust it, I just bought another one which is pre-adjusted, so it saves me from doing what I should, but or trying too much. Whatever. Thanks a lot for watching, you guys, and see you next time.